What's up, folks? I'm your host, William Allen, coming at you live on Sports Talk Unplugged. I got a lot to talk about the Tennessee Volunteers Spring Game 2021 Orange and White game. I'm excited to actually just talk about it and give you guys like my news and notes on what pertain to what I saw in this game. Because this is my channel, I can talk about whatever I want to talk about and just tell you guys that I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in the fall with Tennessee Vols because I actually enjoyed everything that I saw. Because you're talking about a regiment that has stepped in from Coach Pruitt to Coach Hype and has actually changed everything. And you come into a spring game and these guys are slanging the rock around. They slanging the rock around, all right? They slanging that ball, okay? So you got a 3 QB competition. Caden Salt is out. You got a transfer QB that may come in, whatnot, or what this and that. Running backs are running nuts. Defense needs to step up for real. You got some defensive plays going on, man. But I'm telling you right now, man, that was the best spring game that I've seen from the Tennessee Volunteers, man. I'm here to talk about it, man. So let's get it. All right, man. So let me just say this, man. There was a lot of alumni that came into this game. Um, of course, the VFL, you already know, man. They all preached this thing about the VFLs to come in and whatnot. Josh Dobbs was definitely a guy that came in that we really enjoyed Josh Dobbs and his time, man, for real, man. His time here was actually great. I mean, I really appreciated everything Josh Dobbs did when he came in, aerospace, um, engineer, degree field, smart guy. I mean, got drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think he's still in the NFL doing his thing. Um, Everything that Josh Dobbs did, man, this guy is just on top of the world, man. I mean, he was there. Um, you can't say enough about Josh Dobbs, man. Um, so let's just talk about this guy right here. I mean, Alvin Kamara came in. Look at those teeth, bro. That's the only thing I gotta say is look at those teeth, bro. I mean, this guy had grills on when he played for Tennessee. Man, this dude had like grills in his teeth literally while he's playing for Tennessee, man. And he had grills in his teeth playing for the New Orleans Saints. And really, the only thing you can really say right now is ask yourself a question: who's the greatest running back in the NFL right now? And you got to say Tennessee Titans star right now, Derrick Henry. I mean, you got to say Derrick Henry right now, man, off the top. But to be real with you, man, this guy right here, Alvin Kamara, I mean, he pretty much does it all, man. He can run. I mean, you can throw it to him out the backfield, and this guy is just a light speed lightning bolt, man, that just comes out of nowhere, man. So, but anyway, you got to give a lot of credit to Coach Hype. Real talk, man. This guy has really just engineered one of the greatest spring games that I've ever seen. I mean, this guy's transformed. I feel like that offense at Tennessee, man. Hopefully that defense will follow along. Real talk. So we're gonna see what happens, and I'm just gonna give you guys like my news and notes from what I saw from this game. Because I thought that this was the greatest spring game that I've actually ever saw. I mean, in my time of just watching it, I've seen it from Coach Butch Jones, how he did it with the microphone running around from previous coaches, and I felt like that this was a very effective game. He actually sat back and just kind of let things, he had his intake on it, whatever he wanted to happen or whatnot, but he let the players play. I mean, that's the big deal of what I saw. Okay, so let me just say something that jumped out at me. The wide receiver, number 22, man. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, man. Jensic, number 22. And that guy, man, I mean, he blew my mind today, man. I mean, this guy's got some wheels. And when you talk about the wide receivers, you can't forget about Velus Jones, the number one wide receiver, because you already know he's gonna make plays. But Jameson makes some big plays in this game, man. I was actually shocked and surprised that this guy, because we don't really know like the new guys who are coming in. Now maybe he's been there, maybe he hasn't. But I just want to say that he jumped off the screen as somebody that just really just blew my mind of the plays that he made, especially that play that he made where his helmet got thrown off, and they came in tackled him. Somebody got a face mask penalty, whatnot. This guy is a big dude. If I'm not mistaken, this is a tall Robert. This is a big dude, man. And it's funny when you actually look at him and you do your research and you see who this guy is. You come back and you realize, oh snap, man, this guy is actually somebody we just looked over. We didn't really notice that he was there. There's more research I need to know about this guy, so I can't really give you all the full. But like I said, man, let me just say this though. If you guys are looking for a lot of Tennessee Vols insight, let me say this, man. You can look at the All Vols Calling show. I was a part of that show with John Dunn and the staff. This is a great show. Those guys and what they're doing. YouTube, you talking about Talking Vols, man. What them guys talk about, they bring you all the perspectives, man. You talking about the basketball team, man, the baseball team, Otello, and everything, man. Because that baseball team this year, man, they hot, bro. I mean, that Saturday game against Vanderbilt, man, that game was just on fire, man. Even though they didn't win that series, but Rock, our leader's son. I mean, them guys are just they rocking. Even though the Vols did not win that series against Vanderbilt, man, that baseball team is rocking, man. Let me just put that in there. All right. But anyway, so let me just jump back into this spring game though. Real talk, man. Like I said, man, there was some VFLs that came in town. Definitely Josh Dobbs and some guys that came back, Alvin Kamara, and some guys came back or whatnot. But if we're talking about the spring game, and we're just talking about the spring game, okay, let's just say I just played the spring game and just didn't get sued. Let's just say I can just actually just play it. I just automatically just hit a button and it just played. This is what happened. Oh my gosh, it just played. Don't sue me. But let me just say this though, man. I saw Elijah Simmons on the sidelines in this game, and he didn't play. There's some players that didn't play, but let me just say this, man. Elijah Simmons is a beast. I can't wait till he gets in this game. But that right there is Henry Hooker running it in for a TD right there. But let me just say this, though, man. I thought this was a great game right here. Like I said, I was talking about the wide receivers before. The defense seemed like it was kind of shook at first, man. You hope that defensive line can really step up and really do some things. Real talk. And that's my guy I was talking about, number 22, Jason, right there. All right, so, and when you're talking about the Tennessee Volunteers, you can talk about the wide receivers all you want to in that passing attack that you want to, but that wide receiver room, I don't feel like it has anything on that running back room because I feel like those running backs are really good this year, as well as the tight ends. The tight ends actually doing something this year. Real talk, man. I was actually shocked by Preston Font. He made some plays early in this game. All right, Hunter Salam. The tight ends, I feel like, are going to make a greater impact this season. And that's what you need. You need your tight ends to make an impact. That makes you a complete football team. Jamari Small running in right there. You like that? So let me just say this, though. The power run ability of this football team may be the big deal. That's Tyon Evans right there, man. It's so many running backs. Jabari Small, D. Beckwith, Jalen Wright, Fred Orr, T. Hodge, and Tony Malone, man. I mean, it's just great. And it starts off with that offensive line. You know what I mean? They got a guy in there, Dane Davis. It's not enough you can say about Dane Davis and what he's done, solidifying himself, probably being the starting left tackle for this football team. I mean, former walk-on, doing great things, man. Real talk, man. All right? In this game, let me just say this, though, man. We had an ejection for talking about the Nico Slaughter. Of course, it's not a real game, so you already know. They had to bring him back into the game, man. News and notes, Caden Salter's not playing this game because, disciplinary actions. You cannot be in this game, man. Real talk, man. But overall, let me just say this though, man. There's some players that couldn't be in it because they got in trouble at the beginning of the spring. I'm actually kind of upset about it because we really needed some guys, man, on this team. But let me just say this though, man. Real talk, man. Um, this to me was a clean game. I've never seen a more clean, offensively played game, spring game ever. I mean, these guys were actually when I talk about guys, I'm talking about the QBs, Harrison Bailey, Brian Maurer, were actually just ripping that ball out. I mean, they were throwing that ball out there, man. I thought the wide receivers did a great job. Like I said, I mentioned Jancic, Velus Jones, Callaway had a great cat. It's a lot of other wide receivers. It's the JUCO wide receiver, number 28. I can't remember his name, man. There was some guy. I mean, it was just a lot of plays. D. Beckwith. I mean, it's just a lot that I saw from the offense that made me excited about what the Tennessee Vols are going to be doing this fall. And it makes me think that the hiring of Heupel was actually a really good deal. I mean, that's what you want, considering the time frame that Tennessee Vols had to do that. I feel like it was actually the best hire they could have made because this staff, Golish, I mean, those guys, man, everything they've done, I can't even, man, I want to say Martina, all the staff, I mean, they've done a great job. And I'll tell you what, man, that first half, defensive coaches will own the defensive players because, they weren't really doing anything. But then you got Warren Burrell came in with that. He had a pick six on defense, then he had a pass interference call in the third. But still, that defense has definitely got to step up, man. And the thing about it is, you think about it, iron sharpens iron. You know what I mean? So if the offense is running plays like that in practice, then that means the defense has to also step up too. That makes your defense better when your offense is better. You see what I'm saying? Because it seems like the defense has been a little bit behind, especially last year. We don't want to talk about that 3-7 season. We ain't worried about that, man. That's over. But really what we want to see this season is we want to see a takeoff. We want to see a jump off, all right? So one thing you're going to take away from this spring game that I took away, I'm going to tell you, I can't tell you what you saw. I can tell you what I saw, all right? So from what I gather from everything that I watched from this spring game is that these guys are bought in completely, all right? These guys understand that we now have a system where I can have fun. I can go out here, I can play ball. They're going to let me loose. I can do whatever I want to as long as I understand my responsibilities in these plays, and I can go out there and I can have fun. I mean, that's what I saw out there. I mean, these QBs are ripping the ball. They throwing the ball down the field. I would have liked to have seen more from Hendon Hooker in this game because I feel like Brian Maurer and Harrison Bailey were definitely ripping that ball down the field. I mean, real talk. I mean, they were slinging that ball down the field. And the thing that you like to see from your QBs is you see when the defense makes a mistake. You capitalize off the error that the defense has made, and you make a positive play. You're making like a 50-yard, 40, 30-yard pass play to capitalize off the errors of the defense. And that's what you want to see in a regular season. Now, this is not a regular season game, but this is a game that lets you know that these guys are bought in, period. And you should be excited about your Tennessee Volunteers football team, man, real talk. I like what I saw, man. Tight ends. I really want to see the tight ends get more involved, period. I feel like offenses are better when you have the tight ends, period. When you got tight end play, I mean, you got great play. Man, real talk. You got to worry about the tight ends. You got to worry about the quarterback if he's going to scramble. You got to worry about the wide receivers. I mean, it's a lot you got to worry about. So, but I thought this was a great spring game. Actually, this is the greatest spring game actually I've ever seen, to be honest with you. I mean, these guys came out crisp. It wasn't perfect by any means, but I really enjoyed, how these guys came out. They were positive. They wanted. You can see with these guys out there on that practice field, out there on that field, out there in Neyland Stadium, you can see these guys want to be great, and that's what you want to see. You want to see these guys make effort, especially after that last season. Fans are tired of seeing this team suck. And you can see that these guys are out there trying to make a difference, man. Real talk, man. They out there trying to do it, man. And I feel like Coach Hype was the right hire. Real talk, man. I like what I saw. I like these guys. I think the defense needs to step up a little bit more, man. We need some we need some dogs. You know what I'm saying? A team needs dogs. You gotta have some dogs out there, man, that are ready to play. Real talk, man. If you ain't got no dogs, man, that's what I feel like happened last season, man. Wasn't no dogs like the season before when you had Jennings, you had some guys out there, man, some dogs. You gotta have some dogs, man, that are out there ready to play, ready to go, ready to hit somebody in the mouth, man. You know what I mean? Sports Talk Unplugged. I'm your host, William Allen. Thank you for joining me. Stay tuned. I'm going to keep this thing going, man. We're going to keep it going, man. Took a little break, but it is what it is, man. Tennessee Vols Spring Game. I'm excited. Are you? Man, check them out. It's live. Holla back. Peace.